Hey, what's up? It's your boy Paul Brantley. We're gonna get into the Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 3, episode 6. Um, this episode started off with a little um production was tripping. It started off with a little bit of daily news, where it went through what was about to happen on the episode, and they are messy. They were so messy, but it was good. It was a good episode overall. But they started what's about to go down. So we start with Heather. Heather was end up going to a place to check the place out because she wanted to start her own choir because she has feel like she has been missing something in her life since she is not a part of the Mormon church anymore. So she feel like she missing something that is really a part. So she wanted to do, make her own choir. So she got her best friend, her business partner, and a choir director that she's really cool with, that she's friends with and cool with. They are going to come up with all together. She's gonna do a tryout. She inviting all the ladies too. Some of them gonna try out. Some not. Some gonna host. Jen will be hosting. Meredith thought she was gonna be a judge, but end up being a co-host. Yeah, ended up being a co-host. So she ended up talking about that she just feel like she really missing something, and she had with the director, music director friend. They was at her house at the piano, just singing and stuff, and she thought about just doing a choir. So she's gonna do the tryout and everything. In a few weeks, she planned to do tryouts in a few weeks, and then after the tryouts, pick who they want to pick, and then do practice, and then by I want to say, was it Easter? By Easter, do a show. That's the plan that she said. So that's what happened there. Moving on from there, uh, we move on to Jen and Coach. Jen and Coach end up going on a date. It was date night, so they went to some activity thing where it's what is that called? Like activity place where you can bungee, like kind of bungee jump, but not really. I forget what they call that. Not remember. They end up doing all. They having a fun activity day. While they was there, Jen ended up bringing up some of the stuff that's been going on. She brought up about a blog on social media, but ended up being a like this happened 6 months ago. She ended up saying it happened 6 months ago, and she was gonna let it go. That's what she told her husband. She was gonna let it go, and it's been like 7 months since. It's been 7 months since that happened. She ended up finding out who it was. She ended up telling her husband it was Angie's. It was Angie's husband, and she saying that and her husband was like, why would they do something like that? Because they end up using their last name as the username. So Angie's husband ended up setting up a fake account on social media and end up saying stuff about it. End up putting posts that was about Lisa and Jen. Majority of the mess of that post was mostly about it was mostly about Lisa, but he used Jen's last name and put Jen name in the post and whatever. So she like telling her husband, yeah, now I got to figure out how I'm going to deal with this, and how I'm going to how she's going to deal with the problem and whatever, because she was just gonna let it go. Since it's in 6 months, because all the stuff that she got going on right now, she don't really have time for this And I'm like, but you bringing it up right now. It's like, okay. And she said she feel like, cause and the reason because Angie is now she's coming around. Now she's inserting herself into my life and around my friends and everything. I went, girl, be for real. Angie ain't stunting you. Angie ain't thought about you. I said Angie friends with Heather. She's not inserting herself in your life. Like this all became a Jen thing. Like they trying to insert themselves into your life and messing up your life. Girl, your life was already messed up. That had nothing to do with that woman. But we gonna keep it moving because yeah, so she gotta figure this out and stuff like that. And so we move on from there. We move on to Lisa at home with her husband. They end up talking to their son, Jack, about what he's gonna do about college. Cause Lisa said she has talked to his counselor. I talked to his counselor, his guidance counselor, about the school options and stuff like that, and asked him have he made any decisions on what schools, and he was like, nah, I really ain't made no decision. I really ain't kind of thought about it. And his dad asked them like, so they both parents was asking him like, what you gonna really do about this? So what are you going to do? And why are you feeling like you don't want to actually go to college? And he said that he seen some rich entrepreneur online saying that who skipped college and said college ain't for him. Said no to college, so he thinking that's the right route for him. And it's like because you have a company, because you have a brand, a company and a brand all together, that is up and going, and it may be being successful right now, but that's because of your mom and your dad money, and they had helped build it. So you thinking like, yeah, you don't need college, but your mom's his mom Lisa was telling him like, you do need to go to college. College is actually good for you, so you can learn how to be on your own, interact, learn how to cook and everything. Because she went, I didn't grow up with a mom that knew how to. My mom didn't cook for me and stuff. I didn't learn how to cook. He went, well, my mom don't cook for me either. I went, ooh. I went, oh Lord. I went and stuff, and I'm like, wow. I went, okay. So, he made up that he's gonna really think about it. He's thinking about getting like joining an internship or something like that. And yeah, he gonna really think about it and start doing what he needs to do to figure out what he gonna do. If I was Lisa and her husband, it wouldn't be you gonna figure it out or nothing else. You're going to college. Pull out some pull some colleges that y'all want him to go to outside of Utah. These are colleges you gotta go to, or come up with some college that you want to go to outside of Utah, and you're going. Plain and simple. Plain and simple is like, don't give him no choice, because at the end of the day, college life is something that he actually do need. I don't care what nobody online tells you, they didn't go to college, all this and that. Yeah, but you really do. He gonna need it. He really is. It's some fact is that. But that's all that happened there. We're gonna move on to Whitney and her husband. They at home. He come in the kitchen saying, he wanted to show her what he was getting ready to put a statement out on his social media to his ex co-workers, because they've been hitting him up trying to find out what went on, why he's not working at the company anymore. And so he sit down and tells her about what he get ready to post and everything. He ended up breaking down about it because it really hurt it, because he just gave a blank statement. He didn't go into detail. He just gave a really blank statement to them. And then she ended up telling about, in her confession, about how she found out. She said that it was a Monday morning. She dropped the kids off at school. As she had dropped the kids off, she was just sitting outside in the car, and it was just a really bad morning. And he pulled up and knocked on the window, on her car door window. She pulled down the window and told him, "I'm having a bad day and stuff, and I'm going to need a moment." And that's when he told her he had just got fired. And so that's what she said in her confession. So as they sitting down after he got finished doing that, she ended up asking about, like, how did it happen, how did they do it, or anything, the job, because they really do count on him, because he was a chief sales executive in the company. So his boss ended up calling him in. He really didn't know why they was calling him in. So he said they called him in and they told him that his wife was the reason that he was getting fired, because she's a public figure now. That is a conflict of interest. I hope I got it right. Conflict of interest. Because it actually comes down to what happened. I want to say, was it last year when they did their little escapade, on camera? That kind of was a conflict of interest for them, and it made the company look bad, but made him look bad too. So she took it. Whitney ended up making it all about her, so because I'm successful, because I'm in the public eye, because I'm successful and my company is successful. Oh, and that's why they fire you, because of me. And it's like, this go back to when I was 17, 18. I'm like, when did this turn into a session about you? Your husband just broke down about being fired, and you talking about poor old Whitney and her childhood trauma. Girl, this ain't about you. You need to be comforting your man. But she thinking about herself and stuff. So now they got one income. That income is her. So I'm thinking, like, with his background and whatever, and he's a chief executive in sales, he'll come in good handy with your company. Like, you need to get your husband to help you, because you do not market your company at all on Salt Lake City. You don't wear no t-shirts. You don't wear your brand at all. Your brand should be marketed every day. When you getting out the car, your clothes, your coat, your jacket, everything should have your stuff on it. You should be marketed down. But you don't market your stuff. Things you drink out should have it on there. But you don't market it. So you need your husband to come on board and help you out until he found him another gig. Moving on from there, we move on to Heather at her business. Her and her business partner, they end up having a little meeting with the workers, telling the workers that they're going to have to extend their hours because the second location is not ready yet, because they've been running into problems. trying to get everything done. Stuff is still running behind over there. So um, they got they had a little quick meeting. Told them that y'all gonna be working longer hours because we got to extend the hours. We got clients coming in the next 10 seconds. So let's get it moving. So they end up doing that, going to the back, end up talking for a minute, and her business partner ended up asking her what's been going on and everything, and Heather ended up telling her about Heather ended up telling her about the book that she's been writing, that her publisher been trying to get in contact with her for a minute, and he hasn't been getting in contact. But when he finally got in contact with her, he said he's been trying to get the his boss now and everybody to he been covering for her. So he said, you need to get this book in ASAP, or it's gonna be a wrap. So she's been having second thoughts about finishing the book because she's been kind of taking stuff out, and then when she read it, she end up putting the stuff back in, and she been feeling a certain type of way about telling all the truth or keeping it light. When this is the story, this is about your life, and you've been talking about this since season 1 about the Mormon Church, and this is about your whole life. So your family gonna be in it regardless. So just be honest and be truthful to yourself, Heather, 100%. So she tell her friend about that and everything, and then she ended up telling her friend, also that Lisa, she said her and her Lisa friendship is over because that heifer, Lisa, put her father's obituary online to prove a point, to just prove that she texted her like before he passed, and Heather was like, that's just, you just don't do that, because when she posts, she like, you just don't do that at all. That's something you don't do. And to Heather, that's a done deal. She ain't there never be a friendship ever. She ain't, that right there is a done deal. She ain't. I understand you need to clear yourself because of on the last year reunion I said that you didn't text me or whatever, something like that. So she ain't, I get that, but you didn't have to. Posting my father's obituary was out of line, because it was just out of line. So I'm like, Lisa's a mess. So she said, yeah, she's done with Lisa, and she kind of like, at this point she's upset because she invited Lisa to try out for the choir. Yeah, so Lisa gonna show up. So she like, I don't know about that. We'll see. She hoping the girl don't show up, but Lisa will. So we move on from there. We move on to Lisa, to Heather, and okay, one more thing with the Heather thing. Because of what Lisa did, it caused one of Heather's cousins to end up calling her and telling her she don't want her to put her in her book. So they end up causing her to want to take out some stuff out of the book and rewrite it. And now, yeah, so it's like, yeah, she said because of that, posting has really messed up a lot. Because she had her family on board, she had her cousins on board to support her with her book and everything, and the truth of her truth and what she's about to put out there. And now, because of Lisa doing what she did, caused a lot of damage for her. So moving on from there, so we move on to Lisa and Whitney going to yoga. So they do their yoga thing, and then they end up talking after yoga. Doing that, Lisa asked Whitney how she been and stuff. Whitney ended up telling her about, her husband, about Justin, She done being very light about it. She said Justin, he was fired, I can't go into details. And Lisa was like in a confession. Lisa went, yeah, it's all on the blog that he been fired. I went, good. But she went, I ain't gonna even go there. I'm gonna be supportive. I'm gonna be supportive right now. I went, oh, you shady bitch. Do what you do. Trying to be supportive right now. She went, and y'all gonna get through it. Y'all gonna get through it. Y'all gonna get through it. So they move on from that to Whitney asked her how she been and what's been going on. She said, I'm doing good, just been busy and stuff. And Heather been online talking about me and all this stuff. And so I had to, defend myself and everything. And Whitney said, Whitney said, so why did you post her father's obituary? She went, well, I had to defend myself. I had to prove, because I was being a good friend at the time. So I had to show that, show when I sent the text and then everything. So she went, I had to defend myself. I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. Because if you wanted to defend yourself, you could have called Whitney up, or you could have texted her and showed her, hey, I just want to text you and give you the text. This is the text I sent you during that time. So, yeah. But you didn't do that. And she said, so she said, yeah, I'm just going to show up at the, so Whitney said, so what you going to do to fix this or whatever? She said, well, I'm just going to show up at Heather's choir audition, and see how it goes. I went, oh, God. Hate her. After that, we goes to Meredith. So Meredith, Seth, Angie, and her husband Chris end up meeting up for dinner. So they at dinner. Angie and Meredith end up talking about, what happened at Heather's event, the ski event. End up talking about that. And Angie ended up saying, what went on with her and Lisa, saying that she said that she would never say the things that Whitney said that she said about Lisa. She said only thing that she can recall she may have said would be something about Vita Tequila, her brand. She said that would be the only thing that I may have said something about. So, they talked about that. And during that, that's when Angie's husband brought up, he ended up telling them, I just want to say, I did something that I'm not so proud about, but people were coming at my wife and everything, so he said I had to defend my wife. I'm 50 something, and I had to get on. I don't know how to, so I got on social media. I ended up making a fake account, and making a fake account defending my wife. And it was Meredith in self-face for me. Like, what? They face was priceless. Like, what? So he said, he went, I'm just being honest. He went, I don't know how you supposed to do it, but I just want to defend my wife. And Meredith was like, Meredith said, like, I give you props for being 100% honest about it and being 100% about and being upfront about what you did and everything. She went because she went Lisa out here doing the same thing you did. So she went at this point she went it's what it is. She went it's what it is. She ain't, but she ain't. You fessed up to what you did, and whatever. So, she ain't. it's so it's okay with me. Like you affess to it. So what I'm supposed to do? She like, you know, it's what it is. So at least you honest and you try. I can give you that and stuff, but yeah, she might at least doing the same thing. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, this bitch. I'm like, Mary don't give a damn about Lisa. She like that bitch doing whatever, and I said, yeah, Lisa doing it. I know she is. It's just so nonchalant that Meredith does that get me irritated. Like, she doing the same thing, babe. So we move on to Jen and Heather. So Jen and Heather go over Jen's house, and stuff. And Jen had gave a 5-year-old party, so there's alien theme all over the house. So Heather, she's a jokester. So she has this big old alien. She trying to find out where the alien, where you blow up the alien at is in the back of the head. And she, and she made a joke like, I was gonna think it was gonna be somewhere else. Lisa know about that. I'm like, big. She said, girl, Lisa knows about that, about them jobs. So, Jen, when it found out phone, because, Heather joking, but Jen trying to be all serious and stuff. And she like, girl, I didn't want to bring this up to you, but, Angie's husband, well, he made a fake account using my name, using my last name, and it was talking, and she ended up showing her the post and everything, and Heather went, for real? Anyway, is you serious? Is you serious? She's so appalled. She went, that is a serious accusation. She went, I know. She went, I know. But she went, I wasn't going to bring this up to you or anything, but I think you really need to know about this. And, she went, because I ended up hearing it from Lisa. And Lisa told me, so she went, that it was from Angie's husband. So she went, I didn't want to believe her, but she went, I met up with, I ended up seeing Angie, and I asked Angie, like, telling Angie, like, supposedly your husband, and Angie was like, he wouldn't do that. And so after that happened, she talked to Angie. She said, I talked to Angie. So she said, I ended up getting a call from Chris, her husband, and he ended up telling me that that's him. He actually made that fake account. And and I asked him, why did he use my name? He said it was the only one available. That way, bitch. Only one available, hoe. It's like you could have used, you could have used any name, but you used that one. Your brain must have went blank. Like, oh, God. Oh, God. I don't know what the guy is going. He went, yeah. But she went, he apologized. She went, he called, he told me, and he apologized. She went, she said in her confession, she went, I accepted, she went, I accepted his apology, but, I'm like, you accept, I said, see, I'm a little confused by this, because you accepted the apology, but you bringing it up now, after the fact. You can accept it and whatever, but I understand you don't have to forgive, but if you accepted it, so why is you supposed to let it go, but you're not letting it go, Jen. So Jen, like, so she went, yeah. So she went, I think so Heather, I think you need to be very cautious about your friendship with Angie and her husband. And Heather went, okay. Heather went, yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I get that, and I will. And she went, so Heather went, her girlfriend Heather went, I'm good friends with both of these people, with both of these people, and she ain't. I'm stuck in the middle, and she ain't. I don't know what to do, but she ain't. And Jen, so Heather was like, what you gonna do? And Jen said, so what you gonna do? And I'm like, girl, is you serious? You want her? I said, so you want this woman to pick you? You can't do that. You can't tell her to pick friends over you. I said, girl, because you mad at somebody doing what they did. But I said, but you bullied Meredith's child on social media. Make it make sense, Jen? So, I'm confused. So when it's being done to you, a person has to choose who their friends are. That's kind of weird. Now she got to choose who her friends are. She'll choose you or Angie. I mean, you don't dictate a person who they want to choose. If you don't want to be friends with Angie or her husband, then don't be friends with them. I said, that's on you. But you cannot tell Heather who she wants to be friends with. But if that's a big issue for you, then you need to stop being friends with Heather to solve all that. Because you can't tell nobody else who they can be friends with. Because I said, I dare you to tell me who I'm going to be friends with. Because supposedly something, it's like they got nothing to do with me. Nothing. Nothing to do with me. Because if a person apologizes to you, you forgave the apology. Okay, cool. Alrighty. I know what I need to do with that situation. But I'm not going to start being friends with somebody because you had an issue with them. That's your issue. I don't have them problems. But I'm going to also walk a certain way when I deal with them so that, but I'm going to ask questions because I don't got time for it. But, we move on from there. So we move on to the audition for Heather Choir. So, Jen get there. Jen said it's only like 5 people out here, and like four to 5 of them, like it's only a few people out here, and 4 to 5 of them are Heather people. I'm like, girl, shut up. So she a little bit about that and stuff. So everybody commenting and everything. So we end up finding out that Meredith's not gonna be a judge; she gonna be a host. So they end up going back outside to tell everybody we getting ready to start. Jen end up seeing Angie, cause Angie and Whitney is doing a dance or whatever, and so Jen kind of goes back in and kind of get herself together. Cause she's mad because she went. I just had this talk with Heather, and she's still gonna invite her here. I went, girl, shut up. I said you can't dictate what happened. It's an audition, and who cares, girl? You not friends with her. Don't worry about it. If you got so much on your plate, that little stuff that's going on social media would not bother you. You don't got time for none of that. You got too many things going on. You don't got time for any of that bullshit that's going on. It's like that ain't nothing you need to worry about because he didn't apologize to you. You accepted the apology. Move on like you supposed to. But that's all that happened on this episode. So like, subscribe, comment, share on all social media. It's your boy Paul Brantley. Thank y'all for tuning in. And it's gonna be good it's gonna get good next week. I said I can't wait. But thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll get back at y'all later.